Bon, on va faire un test. Hein, on record. Ah ouais, faut mettre la caméra comme ça. Voilà. That's us. That's the room. The headquarters. Now we have wanted to tell the world about our little endeavor here. Frenchman arrived in Ireland in 2006 for a week holiday. It's been a good time. It's been great, but now it's time to do something for real. So I'll finally write that role-playing game, right? I think we'll do something. Try and do something that can appeal to and be something nice for a whole bunch of people, of players, possibly more experienced ones. I'm not. I do my best to make it inviting to new players as well. We'll see. We'll see how it comes about. We'll see after the playtest, after all that. But this is an introduction to the Mon's Dev's Diaries, right? Mon's Dev's Diary, episode 0. Yeah, let's say. We are 2 so far in the team. Guilherme Penna is from Brazil, and he's very busy at the moment, trying to juggle with life's requirements, various requirements. But he's been a great help so far in getting that project underway. I don't think I need a big team. Well, I'm not a control freak, but I like to be yeah. I like to. I don't know. It's my one of my first. It's my first big book. Yeah. So I think I want to be everywhere at once. I'll do my best to be everywhere at once. If I'll need some consultants. So I may be on the lookout, for people who have a good idea of, certain topics in game design, book design, all of that. So Mon, Mon is the name of a planet. I'm writing a role-playing game. If that wasn't clear already, yeah. I'm writing a role-playing game for the last 6 months. I read a ton of stuff constantly, took a ton of notes, started to put together a Notion environment where I put down my notes, and yeah, I'm beginning to get organized. Yeah, on various fronts, mainly core rule system mechanics and core principles of the game, setting, species, cultures, history, stuff like that. So it's coming together nicely. It's going to be a very exotic environment setting. with an interesting melting pot of influences, cultures, races, species, landforms, environments. Uh, and the game, yeah, merging. I think I want to call it a today. I want to call it a mythic space fantasy game. We have cosmic cosmic beings, the size of kilometers wide, even if not the size of a planet. Going from constellation to constellation, sucking the energy, the life force. Um, Bending the minds of masses, so the worshippers send them their influence and power through that. There is a big play of cosmic war, right, in the background, and sometimes they land on the planet. Those cataclysmic Titanic-sized monsters, the sky monsters. There's this aspect of something absolutely like a global epic, uh, and the design or the intention of making that a thing, like there are various ideas of on how to implement like actual sky monsters, Cthulhu style type monsters, landings. So we want that to happen, but we want to give the players as well the tools to sort of like either prevent, intervene, or be the ones that actually call the landing, stuff like that. So a lot of epic, mythic, because yeah, mm, I'm into symbolism. I like um, I like when things are not just fortuitous, free. I like meaning. I like secrets. I like esotericism and the journey, the hero's journey. So I think this will have its place. The world more, of course. It will be. I'm developing legends, all sorts of stories that will sort of like is a support for a mythic background, right? And there is of course a human exodus. It came from another planet. All sorts of things that makes for like some kind of like there's a very and the planet is an actual is not just a setting. It's an entity. Yeah, it plays a role. It decides stuff. There are alien invaders, but it's a space fantasy, but not so much a sci. Yeah, not so much sci-fi. There will be a bit of sci. Some cosmic beings or other races have the abilities to travel between constellations and stuff, but they come with like sonic weapons, um, all sorts of vibro swords, stuff like that. Um, and you have interdimensional travelers as well. The planet is on spiritual lockdown. She's pissed off. All extraterrestrial beings, they're now trapped on the planet, and Mon, the planet, now wants everyone who messed everything up on who messed her whole ecosystem. They messed with that. She wants everyone to now. It's everything or nothing. She locked them up on her ground, and she wants them to either make peace or go through mutual destruction. Go. So there is this tension, really. Like there is, plus there are other extraterrestrial threats. Traders on the ground. Various cultures have various approaches to. So it's, yeah. So anyway, the Dev's Diary, I would like it to be some kind of like, recurrent sort of like meeting points where we can, I can present to you like different the things I do to the process, the backstage sort of thought process, and the exercise of designing a game from the ground up. I have various things I would like to. I guess you would be guys interested to hear about, comment on, and participate in a conversation. About those things. I think that I want to do this will be. I'm kind of like, I jumped here like no script machin. I just have a couple of notes, like what I wanted to announce, that the topics we will approach during the diary. So here I have on my list: Mon's game philosophy, core principles, presentation of the goal of design, what kind of game I want to make. All about devotion, fanatism, heroism, David Goliath, global stakes unfolding on the basis of a culturally rooted ground, no predefined right or wrong, only ambitious views, accidental fatality. Yeah, I want, we will develop that when I will articulate some kind of a diary especially dedicated to that, to the core principles of the game, the philosophy behind um, what kind of game this is, the goal of the design, why designing that kind of game, to address what kind of issues, topics, questionings. But the no predefined right or wrong was really a big one. Is really a big one. To have all actors within the setting, within the game, all major factions being playable, right? Being playable. So that there is always that each of these major faction has a legitimate way to view the world and to act upon it, and they have their reasons and goals and why they want to interact with to survive, mm, to overcome, to dominate, if it's about that, to thwart opposition. They all have a reason, a good reason to be there, and to so they end a meaning as well, a view of the on the world. And I wanted all of these major factions to be playable, so no one is really, once you play one of them, of course they have like their races, they have their arch enemies over there, they have all sorts of enemies, yeah. But from broader perspective, they all have a role to play, and they are all and that role is playable, right? There is the cult, there's this weird the Concord Church, the Sisterhood, the Illyrian and the Alterian cults. There is the guild, uh, a lot of different cultures and subspecies, and they all have their agenda. And one of the goal of the game really is to propose the players moments of um, you know active PvP in the role played PvP in between factions that are at odds. And yeah, there is a big mechanic in the game to do with group focus and group discord. So PvP is a mechanic that I'm looking to articulate PvP is mechanized, and I look to articulate that in something that support um, soft PvP, like I like to call it, soft PvP, something that encourage the players to be in character, to solve like their contradicting views, to approach characters contradicting views and make it fun, making fun that it's not just a bunch of it's not the Fellowship of the Ring. They're well because they all have their own devotion to certain drives and roads. They're all like very. I want each character in Mon. It's gonna be a game really about like um, ambition, devotion, fanatism, radicalism, heroism. They're all fiercely, determined characters. Um, and there is a mechanic for devotion that's split into a road and a drive, and these are pretty, yeah, are pretty extreme. And because yeah, there's I wanted to offer the possibilities to players to play really like to go all in to pick really archetypes that are extreme and put them together in a party in a group and see how they fare. They all have their agenda, their hopes, their ideals, and there's the group focus, and how do they manage that, and how group discord grows. Discord will be part of it. So there's, yeah, all sorts of mm, ob- objects of design that are now in the making. It's gonna be play tested soon. So that was for the, yeah, one of the things I want to approach doing the dev's diary is that it's game philosophy, core principle, core mechanics, of course. But that's, yeah, it's the next segment here. I see Mon's mechanics, the process of designing, coming up. I'm reading my notes again. Coming up with the need for a specific mechanic. Like, why do you need such mechanic? Because you need to, emulate some kind of things. Something specific in the game will repeatedly ask you to perform something of importance and playing a role in the economy of the game. Iterating on refining of game mechanics. So I'll present you with my, the process, the work of designing a game economy, like mm, what's in it for the characters, like what are the tokens, what's the economy, the money, what do you win, what do you lose, what do you pay with, you know uh, stuff like, willpower, devotion, drive, burden, like currencies, like that. Currencies was the word. And what's in it for the players? What's the trade? What are they trading? What kind of exploration is going on? And what's the reward? For playing the game. The game loop, very important, which I think I've got it sort of. Have a projection on that. I'm designing some cool game loop with the discovery phase, with the betting of the next expanse to be explored, some card mm, exquisite corpse sort of card game coming in, an influence phase, on the advancement phase, and then the adventure phase. This kind of loop. We'll talk in detail about the loop. What did you have? The game economy. What is it you cultivate, collect, spend to make your character and the game move forward? Yeah. Really the thing with the mechanic, really what I want to put, what I really want to polish is once we have like, not like, bits of the engine, gears. Once we have the gears, I really want to. That's it. I want an engine. I I like storytelling gaming. Um, really with all my heart. But what sort of like distanced me from storytelling games is the lack of tools, the lack of the way that they throw you. The GM is really lonely, quoi. Really lonely, and you've got to be on the top of your game all the time and know everything. And it's just if you if you have only if you can spend all your life doing that, and you have that sort of that talent for immersing yourself completely, totally, utterly all the time as a GM, you're good. But if you kind of like have more and more commitments in real life, and you don't have that much time to prep your games, and as a GM you need an engine, you need a good engine, you need a game, you come back to it, it's still running. It's like, and it's not just random tables, it's not just random encounter tables, or journey mechanics or stuff like that. It's something more. And I think I found that between it's something that to do with motors, yeah, engines of inspiration. How do you reinvigorate perpetually, perpetuum mobile, yeah, perpetuum engine? How do you reinvigorate perpetually the inspiration of players and GM, that you come back to the game 1, 2 weeks, 1 month later, and the thing is still running? You know, you just have to to tilt, and poof, it goes, because of mechanics like the burden, the devotion burden, road drives, group focus, group discord, cosmic awareness, and dissonance, all sorts of mechanics. The discovery phase, and the exquisite corpse game, big one, influence phase, clocks, stuff like that, stuff that keeps running between sessions, right? So another thing I would like, and I will address, I will yeah, disclose, present, is my inspirations, and inspiration in world building. Here I'm reading my notes again. The process of feeding the writer's imagination, right? So where do I go, what do I do to be inspired, to be inspired, to where do I steal my some ideas from? What kind of like, forgot the name for this, uh, a fertile ground. How do I become that fertile ground? So what do I input in there? So I reading, what, why. Um, what do I have? How does a mythic space fantasy world takes shape, rooting, branching, letting grow? Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's gathering of. In fact, I'm scanning all around. I'm reading a couple of like select role-playing game titles, and classic literature and modern literature titles. Reading is pretty mad, um, but it's amazing. I'm having the trip of my life. Um, yeah, it goes from astronomy, astrology, mythology, history, biology, evolution, physics, quantum theory, all sorts of things, like the Bible, the Veda, Ursula Le Guin, Frank Herbert, and many more. Gene Wolfe, and titles I'm reading, like, it's Dune, role-playing game Rune Quest, Pendragon, Exalted, Skyrim of Jorun. You have Dark Sun, all sorts of things, just Numenera, you know. And yeah, and I'm having like a close look, very, very close look, very macro look onto everything. And and then that nourish it's just the food, you know. So there's that. But in world building, we'll talk about you know, what do you need to make a world believable? Like how do you achieve verisimilitude? What tools does a GM need to make a world feel alive? You know, it goes from climates, you know, landforms, uh, you know, cultures, civilizations, how do you know, means of transport. And we have dinosaurs. Yeah, it's a big selling point of Mon that they were not originated from Mon. They were implanted by an extraterrestrial race. Of space hunters. They see the dinosaurs on alien planets and to go then to go hunting them after that. So yeah, we have dinosaurs. So I'm studying dinosaurs. I really want. I'm going deep. It's gonna be nerdy on dinosaurs, but because there is a Zia drift going on, going around. The Zia are those sort of quote unquote demons come from another dimension. They can't reproduce on the planet, so they have the seed of transmutation, and they can transform instead of reproducing. They alter the world around them. They transfuse, they infuse themselves in the world instead of uh, reproducing between each other. So they've created mutant races and mutant landscapes and mutant dinosaurs. So there is a logic in the and sort of like the succession of um, hmm, mutations, right? It's you will see. You'll see. Well, world building. We'll touch on world building a lot. It's it's one of the great things of GMing. It's when you know, yeah, you're on the demiurge, but because you know it takes it takes a bit more than that, you know. But at least theater director, you know, and decorator, you know, and you put together an illusion. And what do you need to at least make it like believable, like the minimum requirements? And the minimum requirements is very bare, depending on the kind of like game you want to put together. But uh, me, I like it when it's I like it's vibrant. Yeah, it's vibrant. There could be something in the corner, every corner. You know, you can discover something alive, something meaningful, something that comes from the world. So world building. Next on the list of the thing I want to address during the Mon Dev's Diary, the target audience of Mon. So who's that game is who is that game being written for, right? What do I have here? The core experience of the game. What space is the game engine what kind of space is the game engine constructing? So where are you at? Where are you, what are you in when you enter the gaming you sit at the table at Mon's table. What is that space, you know? What's the vibe between the players? What are they invited to do, to produce, to create together? And what's the atmosphere at the table? And that is the basis for the game. You know, how so target audience, how autonomous is the game? We talked about it, you know, for the engine. How much effort does it take to get it running? Does it run on its own? For who is it for? Who is it for? Who is it not for? How modular it is, is it intending on being? So yeah, that's a tricky one. How can it run one shot in long campaign with the same ease and the same mechanics? On a note on the game mode, so we have so far 4 game modes plus possibly a 5th one, the modular one. Like what kind of mon do you want to play? You know, I think we'll have nomad mode, hedgelord mode, rogue princes mode, and liege lords mode. Sort of like four kinds of level of involvement, of devotion, dedication, various ambitions, various goals for the group. You pick that, I think, between adventure phase. During downtime, you actualize your game mode. It's not just like the whole campaign is a nomad campaign. It can totally be, but during each adventure phase, you have the option to move up, move down, sideways. But at least for game modes will have, and they have specific rules. Yeah, they have rules when it comes to group dissonance, group cosmic awareness. They sort of like define these modes, define the speed at which the environment is supposed to be to respond to your abusing it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be super cool. I really look forward to the game modes. To people like telling, like, I played a Golog brute on the road of glory and driven by innocence. Uh, and we played the Nomad campaign, but then we veered into Liege Lord, but that ended up as Rogue Princes, and it was too late. And then there was the third landing, and they came, and we could do nothing because we had lost. But it's gonna be, yeah. So game mode, and so how modular is it intended on being? Yeah, for the fifth mode, so it's modular. So how do I make this game because it's fashion, yeah. Nowadays to have like, and it's always been the thing with role playing games. They are meant to ours. Yeah, we are invited to make them ours, and uh, pick certain rules, discard others, certain part of the setting, invent new home rules. Create, of course, create new areas to explore and new cultures to interact with, new character classes, all sorts of things. So how modular will I be able to make this without breaking the game, like while keeping the essence, um, and sane, I mean sound and untouched, is because this is not just a toolbox, right? Mon is not going to be a toolbox with mm, a generic setting. Mon is first and foremost a specific setting with a specific background story and a certain vibe. But the game mechanics, I'm trying to develop them so that it's an original system. It's a D12 plus it's a pool of one D12, multiple D12 sometimes, and multiple D6s for the skills. It's a score above, yeah. So it's TNs. The difficulties, they go up and up and up, and numbers can go crazy. It's a bit wild. Still like there are loads of explosions in my lab at the moment when I try to develop that epic game mechanic based on the idea that something should ramp up. You can start like a trooper, and then you end up like a dragon killer or a leader of armies, or one on taking on a whole regiment on your own, and even facing sky monsters. So there's the curve of the difficulty chart is a bit crazy. So it's a wild game to keep contained. I'm still working on that. It's fun, but it's wild. Yeah. So, and I hope these mechanics will stand strong to sustain if my heart wants it, and inspiration, and if there is a good response to the game, I hope that the mechanics will be able to sustain other settings, right? Possibly in the same universe, other planets, new races somewhere else, another, another act, another chapter of. But Mon will have a lot to do. Yeah, there will be plenty to do in there. So right, so that was target audience, game modes. What will I want to address as well in the Mon Death's Diary? Illustration. Because I wanna lead the layout and the illustration, mm, of the book, the illustrations of the book. I have a background in fine art, in illustration as well. Nothing crazy, but I have an eye, I have a taste, and I want to put that to the test and see if I can. And because my wrists are not at their best, yeah, see, um, and I got pissed off at the art world. There's always this dichotomy between the art world and the art market. Never really like was too innocent really for making a career in fine art or acting or stuff like that. Anyway, yeah. Uh, did I want to say? Always I go this way. So yeah, illustration. So I'm because I think I'm gonna use some AI um, content, generated content that I'm going to collage. I'm going to make a collage, sort of like mm, the, the base, because the base, like here, what in the notes we have how the ideas of hybridization, genetics of culture and culture of genetics, breeding programs, ancestral identity, the merging and clashing of cosmic principles. Those are really like essential tropes of the game, like multiculturalism, genetic experiments, mm, clashing of cultures, of species, of ideals, and merging of all of that. Hybridization is really one of the core fundamental sort of like design principle. Mutation, evolution, and blurring the borders. So that resonated nicely because it's so essential in the game. That resonates really nicely about what is an AI generated image. It is the hybridization, the result of the merging of all the humanity's influence, on itself, um, and even if you try and directly, like you would try a puppeteer some kind of artist, you know you puppeteer a painter or what, he's influenced by so many. And I think that AI for me, generated imagery, is the embodiment of that threshold we are crossing at this point. We are always, the result of a collective unconscious, right? There's this us, and you create something. An idea, you can't own an idea. An idea traverses you, right? It passes by. You act on it or not, but its ideas are universal, and inspiration and forms and visions and those things, they're transient, and they pass through us, through a soul. And the only difference between us is what we do. you know uh, you can be a thinker, I don't know. We'll discuss more about those things when I'm a bit more articulated, when I have something a bit more structured. But AI generated imagery is for me, we would represent and use it and make a collage. So it's yet take something that is already a collage of influences and make a collage of a collage. You see, for a game that is a about or axed around hybridization. So I think it fits nicely. It's not just oh, I don't have the money to pay an illustrator. I don't, not yet. Uh, uh, I'm too, I'm too shy. I don't want. I don't want to do. I don't want. I don't know how to draw. I'm gonna make AI fill the content. Fill the space with AI. It's not so. It's there is of that. There is a bit of that because AI says my. Well, it's not free. Huh? I mean. $30 for the standard Midjourney account. Yeah, it's not it's not free. But it's cheaper than world-class illustration. But it's not world-class illustration either. Yeah. So, but because I have this background in art and I have this knack, I I will make I will try and develop some kind of collage form of but yeah, some kind of style. We'll see. We'll see if I can manage that. What did we have? Yeah, I finished the notes at the end. That paragraph: the churn of life forms, the churn of philosophical ideas, the churn of aesthetic influences. How everything is a product of everything else. Yeah. All right. More things I want to address during the Mon Dev's diary. In the Mondev's diary. I have trouble yet saying that word, series of words. Reading out loud session. Yeah, reading sittings. I like to read out loud to improve my English. If you haven't not noticed. Yeah, trying to sort of like bury my Frenchiness somewhere. Is it possible? But anyway, I read out loud, sort of be a better GM as well, to learn, and to learn how to write as well. You gotta read a lot. So and I enjoy reading out loud. So I'll do that for you. I'll read out loud extracts of stuff for you. Sort of things like we can read the Homer's Odyssey, Journey to the West, all sorts of things, and role-playing game, sections of, all sorts of things, and I can give you commentaries on that. We can discuss, um, why I read that, what is precious in it, stuff like that. So next we have in Mon Dev's diary, I want to present you with my backstage sort of like what notes do I take, what's in my notebooks, what's in the how is my Notion space taking shape, how am I organizing myself. Yeah. Uh, and yeah, and sort of like what kind of creator am I? How do I? What's the step by step process? Um, and that is that. In the diary, I'd like to invite some guests. I'd like to do some Q&A and even some dialogues. With Guy when he's available. With Herme, and with other friends, and special guests, like other designers, writers, playtesters. That's gonna be, yeah. This could be great. We could do in the diaries, two more suggestions I have here. And one in the it's not gonna be the diary. It's gonna be another playlist on YouTube, but it's gonna be the live actual play live play test, right? There'll be 3 years of playtesting. That is the plan so far. and we'll record some of those sessions and reveal how is the playtesting going. Then we'll do live designing of an NPC. How do I make an NPC? How do I design a monster? An expanse, which is the geographic area of of Mon. A location. How do I do rule iteration? So live designing. I pick something small, like a small issue, small something I want to tweak, a small piece of gear in the game, and I try to design it live for you. And character creation, live character creation as well, sort of like to display a bit the how the character creation system works and stuff. Yes, that's it for now. If you have suggestions, questions, things you would like to see addressed and developed, shown, displayed, revealed, um, debated, if you want to comment on all of that and give us more ideas as to what you want to see in the diary, go ahead. You know where it's at. I will. But well, it will grow as it goes. I really look forward to gather with you all around that fascinating endeavor. Hopefully, release first edition 2030, right? September 26th, alpha. September 27 and 28, pre-beta, beta, with a year playtesting phase for each of them. 29, it's a Kickstarter campaign, and 2030 release. So I guess that's that's the plan. That's the plan. So we'll have a couple of those diaries. This is this is a good start. I hope that you're as enthusiastic as I am, and that yeah. What did I want to add? About comment, put a like, subscribe, check our Patreon. I'll soon I put a I'll put the link to the Discord for Mon, the Fringe Worlds Discord. And because I am Fringe Worlds. Voilà, that's it. That's us for now. My dear dreamers and travelers, I wish you a good one. Good luck with all, and see you very soon.